we've got more Doctor Who Easter eggs. Greetings everyone, I'm Jack and welcome to Tardis Central. Things are heating up in the BBC Sounds podcast world as Doctor Who Redacted continues, now having gone over the halfway point. It's been quite an experience for Abby, Cleo and Shawna, our main characters, and has also provided us as readers and technically listeners I guess, with even more exciting Easter eggs from the Doctor Who universe. Today we're going to delve into those and sort out what's what and who is who. But as usual, if you want to keep up to date on the latest Doctor Who news, lore and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Tardis Central. You can also follow us on social media for daily updates on the Doctor Who universe. But as always, please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, because if you're talking about Doctor Who, then we want to hear about it. So, episode 5, Interrogation, is lighter on the Easter eggs than previous episodes, but still has quite a bit to note, so let's dive in. The main characters do make a brief mention once again of the Tardis, albeit as Blue Box. This is rather like how the Series 1 story, Aliens of London / World War III, refers to it. Within that story, it was even used as an internal government codename for it. The episode also managed to play on the old age joke of having a main character say Doctor Who, in this case Shawna, and does refer back to the characters of Penny Carter, Oliver Morgenstein and Rani Chandra, all of whom we've covered in previous episodes of this series, and you can check those out if you haven't already. Additionally, it's said by Miller during his interrogation of Cleo that she grew up on the Powell estate. The Powell estate often featured in the RTD era of Doctor Who, having served as the childhood home of Rose Tyler as she was raised by her mother, Jackie. The 9th and 10th Doctors would both visit during their childhood of Rose, including the story Aliens of London, World War III. It's indicated that whilst Cleo and Jordan Proctor have both moved out, Cleo's mother continues to live on the estate. After Miller gets redacted, we're greeted with the familiar figure of Kate Stewart. Though in her debut in the main show, The Power of Three, Kate described herself as head of scientific research. Here, she introduced herself to Cleo and later Shawna as chief scientific officer. This keeps in line how she described her role as unit in stories since, and most recently described in one of the promotional field logs promoting the London production of Time Fracture, which would be the immersive theatrical experience. So that's kind of it for episode 5, but episode 6 kicks it back into high gear for a lot of references. Kate has now been replaced by Osgood, usually in second command role to Kate with Kate Redacted. Osgood has now taken over the role as chief scientific officer of units. Osgood takes over the trio to Unit's storage warehouse, where there are various items they cannot really identify. Here comes quite the niche jokey Easter egg. Osgood tells them according to their database, there are 862 items in the warehouse. This refers to the amount of episodes that Doctor Who had aired by the time of production of the podcast began. Up until and including Revolution of the Daleks, there were 862. I think that's 892. 862, you get the point. Of course, there's at least one of these episodes missing to known somewhere around it there, and that does not count 862 does miss the story of Shada, which was left unfinished in the 1970s, but was ultimately completed with animation in 2017 and aired on BBC America. But forgive the writers with this technicality, as even Wikipedia neglects to count it. Now, to answer the inevitable question, through the Sonic Mascara's item of 372, this could be a reference to Sarah Jane, as episode 372 of the show would have been an episode featuring Sarah Jane, the Monsters of Peldon, episode 3. It unfortunately isn't, as the Adipose pills have the item number 547, which refers to the Keepers of Trakan, Part 2 and not Partners in Crime. So no references to be had in those, we're afraid, and I know it's a bit confusing. However, whilst in the unit warehouse, Shawna accidentally sets off a gun that she initially thinks is some kind of hairdryer. This in fact might be a jokey reference to the story Dalek, in which Adam Mitchell shows the 9th Doctor several technological items that resemble weapons in Henry Van Statten's collection, only for the 9th Doctor to toss them aside and comment their hairdryers, though this could be the Doctor just throwing that off as in don't mess with them. Looking through the warehouse database, Shawna and Cleo also find notable items. A medical report that refers to gas exchange and uncontrollable farting. This is a reference to Levine, whose skin suits cause the exact problem. That was always creepy, I'm gonna be honest. One of the database entries also simply features the words Bad Wolf. Whilst it will be obvious to a lot of fans that Bad Wolf refers to the two words that are scattered through space-time by Rose Tyler in the Series 1 final, when she contained the heart of the Tardis power, there is a second layer reference to this. Cleo says that Bad Wolf sounds like an emo band. This directly refers to the novelisation of Rose by Russell T Davies, in which noted by a young Mickey Smith once started an emo band with that exact name. Does anybody else really want to see that? So, using an alien radio system, the Doctor was able to get in touch with Cleo and notice they have once previously met Cleopatra. Though, I'd be tempted to think this refers to River Song's brief stint in being Cleopatra in the episode The Pandorica opens. This is actually a part of a long-standing series of references to such an occasion. In Series 10, The Husbands of River Song, it was in fact clarified that the Doctor must have met the real woman, as with a list of the people that she married alongside Marilyn Monroe and Elizabeth I. Prior to this, during the novel of Ghosts of India, the 10th Doctor suggested Donna that he had met Cleopatra, and before that, in 2001, Big Finish's story, Lupus Grax, had the 5th Doctor make the same reference. But before them all, and get ready, the 1996 Virgin Missing Adventure novel, The English Ways of Death, featuring the 4th Doctor, made a slightly more revealing comment, stating that he had played bridge with her. So yeah, take it with a pinch of salt. So there you have it. Even 26 years later, this encounter of Cleopatra continues to be noted, though we're none the wiser about the exact details of which of the Doctor's incarnations actually met Cleopatra. Bonus point, during The Girl in the Fireplace, back in Series 2, it was clear the 10th Doctor had hinted to this at least 2 more people. As Mickey Smith noted to Rose, the 10th Doctor would refer to Cleopatra as Cleo. How about that coming full circle, eh? So after hearing from the Doctor, Cleo and Shawna also come across a Dalek casing in the warehouse. Osgood introduces Abby to the Osgood box. This box and its other cubed counterpart had featured in the Series 9 during the 2-parter, the Zygon Invasion and the Zygon Inversion, where they've been put into the Black Archive by Osgood and a Zygon duplicate at the instruction of the Doctor. To everyone but the Doctor and the 2 Osgoods, the boxes would appear as being super weapons, but were in fact fakes designed to teach both humanity and the Zygons a lesson about warfare. Interestingly, however, in this episode, Osgood seems to be unaware of the true nature of the boxes, and cannot ever recall meeting the Doctor or encountering the Tardis. One can only assume Redaction is messing around with her memories for now. Going to the east side of a warehouse, after speaking with Joel, Cleo and Shawna discover many boxes, each containing items that once belonged to people. Among the boxes are once items belonging to individuals such as Clive Finch, Priya Chakabari, and Olga Mattel. Those 2 last names have no immediate significance. Clive Finch is a similar name from the past. Clive had featured in the Series 1 episode, Rose, having been a die-hard fan of a Doctor who was tracking him through time. Well, sort of through time. He was keeping a track of where the Doctor popped up in time. Anyway, he died when the Autons began attacking Earth. Well, there's been quite a lot of Easter eggs for these 2 episodes, but as we press close to the end of Redacted, it seems there's still plenty of loving nods to uncover alongside and mysteries slowly being solved, so keep an eye out for that. Stick around as we've got a couple more episodes of Redacted left, and I'm presuming many more Easter eggs. But in the meantime, if you want to keep up to date on the latest Doctor Who news, lore and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Tardis Central. You can of course follow us on social media for daily updates on the Doctor Who universe. That's it for myself on Tardis Central. I've been Jack, thanks for watching, and if we haven't got our minds wiped by the Black Archive, we'll probably see you next time, if we remember. See you soon.